I'm going to start with a very short introduction, just for everyone who's joining us today. Thank you so much for tuning in. For those who don't know me, my name is Carol. I am the founder of Parentally, and Parentally is a digital platform dedicated to the well-being of parents, and we reference all the professionals who can help parents prepare and feel confident and feel well at every stage of their parenthood journey. And today we have invited two of our Parentally members, and they are experts of child sleep, and we are going to talk about the sleep of our little ones. And so our guests today are Marian and Nienke, and they are the founders of, please forgive my pronunciation, Uitgerust De Dag In. And maybe I will let you introduce yourself first. So that's maybe the best way to get started.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for inviting us. So my name is Marian Kramer, and I'm a child sleep consultant, child sleep coach, same. And from Uitgerust De Dag In, if you translate it, well rested for the day. And I live in Visser, and I am married with Steven. I have two daughters. One is 6 and one is 1.5. And they are, of course, super sleepers now. But my eldest daughter wasn't really a good sleeper. So that was for me the moment when we started working with a child sleep coach to think about, hey, what do I want to do with my career? And this was the starting point from the change to become a child sleep coach.
Yeah. My name is Nienke Visser, mom of 3, 2 boys of 6 and 4, and a girl of 1-year-old. So both our oldest were terrible sleepers in the first year. So we had a lot of struggles, and we were super, super tired. And after we both worked with a sleep consultant, we were like, hey, okay, everyone should know this, and we want to help other families to get better sleep. So we changed our careers and started as a sleep consultant. And now, since the beginning of this year, we work together because together you can do more and better things.
So thank you very much for taking the time to introduce yourselves. And I'm very excited about this topic because I think most parents at some point face these sleep challenges of, being sleep deprived and having little ones not sleeping. I've been there, and it was awful for the first one. And I didn't know about child sleep coaching. So I think maybe it would be nice to first start with you explaining what exactly is child sleep coaching, and actually how does it work?
So child sleep coaching is what we do is we help parents to learn so that they can learn their children to sleep better. So so how does it really work? Parents contact us, and they most of the time they say, oh, I'm exhausted, I'm so tired, please help me. And there is something with the children that prevents them from sleeping well, and it can be that they have difficulties to fall asleep in the evening, they won't sleep through the night, have multiple night wakings. Younger children face difficulties with their rhythm during the day of the night, these kind of things. And then what we do an introduction call to see what really happens and how we can help. We have different options. If, for example, there's a smaller issue with a pacifier that they want to stop using, then we can do a sleep consultation. If you expect your first baby and everything's new, we could also do a newborn consult. But most of the time we do a sleep training, and a sleep training takes about 2 weeks. So after an introduction call, we schedule for an intake, and an intake takes about 1.5 to 2 hours, and we go into depth about sleep, like everything, during the day, during the evening. We take the full spectrum, so it's not maybe the problem is I cannot fall asleep in the evening, but very often it has to do with a lot of other things as well. So we have the full perspective, and we create a plan with the three of us, with both of the parents very often. And it's important that the parents are okay with the plan, and they understand what to do, because they have to execute on it. We create the plan, we write it for them, but they have to do it. Very shortly after the intake, we start with the sleep training, and it takes about 2 weeks because the child has to learn something new. It's a new skill or a new behavior that they have to adapt, and that takes a bit of time. And during the sleep training, we have almost on a daily basis contact. Parents keep a sleep log. They write what happened the day, the night, and we provide them with feedback. And so we maybe sometimes we need to adjust a bit on the sleep plan, and we work with more and better sleep. So
it takes
like.
a bit of time, right, to implement the plan and to start seeing the results. And how long does it take usually? I'm sure it depends on the type of challenge the parents are facing, but in general, the training, the coaching, how long does it take, I would say?
Yeah, we say 2 weeks. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
We say 2 weeks. Sometimes a bit, it's earlier. With 1.5 weeks, it's okay. And sometimes we need a bit more, because if children are older, you can imagine that we help children from the age from 0 to 5. And if you have a child of 3 years old, it costs maybe a bit more to learn the new skills than a child from 1 year old. Not always. But sometimes.
And you were mentioning a newborn consult, so you can also consult for a newborn. What do you mean? Like what age exactly, or how many weeks?
Well, like the real sleep training starts from 5 or 6 months, but we always look per child. So some children of 5 months can start with sleep training. Sometimes we say, it's better to just wait a little bit longer, but not before that age. So a newborn consult is for when you're still pregnant. So just the basic, the foundation of sleep. What is sleep for children? How does it work? What can you expect? So that you can start like right from the beginning with the best knowledge that you have. Because honestly, I didn't know anything. Like I was completely like, okay, a baby just sleeps. Yeah, some babies do, but a lot of babies need a little bit help, or need support from their parents, and they really need to learn it. So we will go into depth, like what the things are that you can do in those first months. So you can have that newborn consultation when you're still pregnant, or in the first 3 or 4 months that your baby is born, just to help you to get on track and to give you the information that can be really helpful. And that also can prevent like sleeping problems on a later age, because you already know,
that's really interesting. I didn't know you could already get a consult in pregnancy. So yeah, to already actually get good foundations. But my next question would be actually, what are the most common causes for parents to contact you and to ask for coaching? I mean, we've all had sleepless nights, but we always wonder when is a good time to start consulting. And
yeah, that's a good one. It's now. Don't wait. No. So the main questions that we get is, my child has difficulties to fall asleep in the night, has multiple wakings. Is an early riser, is waking up very early, but also how to get rid of night feeding, because the child is still waking up, and then I feed him or her. But also during the day, the naps are a bit messy. How do we need to organize that? What else?
Stop with the pacifier.
Stop with the pacifier.
So the pacifier, that's a common issue for people. Yeah. I had that for both of them.
Yep. It's a good thing.
For both of
you
them.
Had it as
so
well?
I would usually put, I don't know, 5 or 10 in the bassinet just to make sure I would get one. But yeah.
I would do that as well. Just put a lot of them. It's really nice to have it so the child can soothe. But it's also sometimes a bit of a challenge to get rid of the pacifier.
But sometimes, like for older kids that can get out of bed themselves, we have parents that say like, okay, my child just comes out like 10 or 15 times or maybe even more. So we can help with all sleep related problems for children in general.
Yeah, and what we say, it is a problem when parents say it's a problem. So sometimes parents find it okay if their child wakes up one time during the night, and if they need to give the pacifier and then the child sleeps again, or if they need to feed later on if the children are a bit older as well. If they think that's okay, then it's okay. If it's a problem when you face issues and when you are tired and you think, I want to stop this, because motivation is really important. Maybe you can hit on that.
Yeah. The motivation is very important because both parents need to be on board and the parents have to do it. Like, we are a child sleep consultant, but in the end we coach the parents, and we are there. We write the plan for you. We, take you by the hand and we tell you what to do. We give you all the information. We are motivating the parents. We give them a lot of positive support, but we are also challenging them. Like, hey, do you really want to do this? You have to be consistent, and because sometimes, particularly the first days, can be very difficult. The children can start protesting because, parents are going to change a lot of things that just need some time to adjust. And parents really need to follow through to get the best result. So we try to motivate them, support them, give them feedback, but in the end, the parents have to do it. And we do the best we can to help them.
Yes, I understand.
But we cannot do it for them.
So you have to be committed, yeah.
And we don't think, and I don't think that's good as well, because you see sometimes that I think there are actually, I don't know if there are sleep coaches who actually go into the house, but I think if we would go and help the child, then maybe the child would sleep better. But in the end, we would leave as well, and then the parents have to do it anyhow by themselves, because families have a strong family system, and they need to, cut some things and break through certain patterns, and that's the most successful.
So actually, a coaching doesn't necessarily involve you being there with the parents to meet the parents. You can also do an online consultation. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, we do the intake online. When parents live close by, like we live in Naarden and Bussum, so when they live close by, then we go there, or we can go there, but we always discuss with the parents. That's for the intake. But when we've made a sleep plan and they're going to really start with the training, we support them via video call, WhatsApp, email, and that logbook, that online logbook that they keep from all the naps and everything. So no, we are not there. No, that's not necessary, because the parent, like Marian explained, like the parents have to do it, and they can tell us the day after, like, okay, we had like a very difficult night because he was awake for 2 hours, or we had a really good night. She fell asleep in 15 minutes and we didn't hit her until the morning. So parents keep us updated and we provide them with feedback.
Talking of tips and tricks, actually, I wanted to ask you both, what would be your golden tips for parents when it comes to the sleep of
Nice question. Yeah, we always say, if there would be one golden tip, everyone would know it. It would be all over the internet, apparently. So unfortunately, there is not one golden tip. There's no wonder pill, but we have a few insights for parents, which we think that are very important. One of them is sleep begets sleep. So the more your child sleeps, the more it's going to sleep. But also the opposite is true. Like the less your child sleeps, the more it's going to be awake. And they get overtired. And when a child is overtired, it's not possible to sleep well. It sounds very opposite, because you think, my child is super tired, then he's going to sleep well. That's not the case, because the body is going to make cortisol and adrenaline to keep on going. And that prevents the child from sleeping. And in that same line, there's another one, like, learn to read your child's sleep signals. We hear a lot of parents saying like, oh no, around bedtime, no, my child is not tired. He's running around, screaming, so super active. So no, he's not tired at all. But basically that's a sign of being overtired. Because again, that when your body is tired, that's also for us adults, but specifically for children, your body produces adrenaline and cortisol to keep on going and going, which makes it hardly or nearly impossible for children to fall asleep because they are under stress. And then parents think, oh, they have so much energy, they're not tired. But actually, they are super tired and overtired. So, like the ideal sleep window has already been gone. So, yeah, learn your child's sleep signals so that you know when it's time to go to bed, because they show it already way before they're overtired.
What can it be? What kind of? I'm sorry, I just have one question. What kind of sign could it be, for instance, for a young children who doesn't speak yet?
Yeah, for young children, could be like glazing, looking away, like not making eye contact anymore. Their eyebrows can become red, their eyes.
Making fists sometimes.
Yeah.
The ears.
Pulling on the ears, moving their head side to side. Sometimes they start a bit, like not really crying, but like
fussy,
getting
fussy. Yeah.
Yeah, they get a bit fussy, like that. But not all kids do this, and know that yawning. A lot of people, oh, it's yawning. Yawning is a very late stage of being tired, actually. When children start yawning, they are really tired. Like, you have to go to bed now. And all the other signs are like, hey, okay, I'm getting tired. Start preparing me for bed. And older children, like rubbing the eyes, of course. And by older children, you also know, like, in their behavior. Like, they get upset very easily, cry over everything. And they can
fall
also
down,
fall over their own.
I recognize that.
So much. Those kind of things. But every child, some children get like very quiet. They're just gonna be in a corner and look around or be in their own world. So then you don't even notice. You think, oh, he's playing so nice and quiet, and they're just tired.
Yeah, and good to know is that also these tips are not the wonder thing to do and then your child sleeps, because if your child's waking up multiple times during the night, you have to put your child probably earlier to bed. We should know, of course, the full spectrum of what the sleep problem is, but it most often ticks more boxes than that. So really the complete spectrum. Probably there are a few patterns that are in there that you need to adjust. So it very often is the full puzzle of things, all the pieces together will do something
to solve the sleeping problems.
Solve the sleeping problem. Does it really work? That's a tricky question.
Well, more than 95% of the parents. We've helped over 200 families together. More than 95% of the parents significantly sleep better after the sleep training.
It goes really with the motivation of the parents as well. It's really you have to do an investment because it can be really difficult the first day and nights. But I always say it's a short-term investment for long-term success. And we really aim to give parents the knowledge to understand what is sleep and how to react on it. Also, when children become older. If you worked with us when your child is 10 months, the child goes to so many different sleep age phases. And we also want you to be prepared for that and to understand, so then it's a transition to the next nap. What could I do then? That's important for us. We don't want you to come to us every year because then we don't do our job really well.
And in the end, like Marian said, it's a long-term investment, because children that sleep or have sleeping problems when they are young are more likely to develop like serious sleeping problems when they're an adult. So when you already learn your child like the healthy sleep habits as soon as possible, then they benefit of it for their whole life.
I see.
So it's it's very important, and not to mention like their daily behavior, and when they're a bit older, when they go to school, like their focus, their concentration, everything. You know from yourself, when you're tired, it's impossible to fully focus. So children are also tired. You always hear like, oh, the parents, we are so exhausted because my child won't sleep at night. But don't forget, your child is also awake. He also doesn't get like the sleep that he needs. So he's also exhausted. So a lot of parents forget that. So
Absolutely.
it's really a benefit for the whole family.
I'm a bit curious. Would you like to share maybe an anecdote or a success story of parents you have helped with their child sleep issues? I think it would be interesting to see how it worked.
Let me think about.
Yeah, we have a lot.
Yeah. So when a parent reaches out, let me see, there's this boy of 10 months, 8-9 months, who had really difficulties in falling asleep. Parents had to stay with him or rock him or feed him, and then he fell asleep when being fed. That's very often the case, and every time he woke up, the parents also need to feed the child. Then this is a really common cases that we work on. So we need to get the sleeping association, drinking and sleeping, we need to pull it out, and we need to learn the child how to, or the parent need to learn the child how to sleep on himself, to fall back asleep. Every child sleeps but also wakes up in the night, but then if you can sleep well, you just turn around on your other side and sleep in again. But when children are a light sleeper or don't know how to fall asleep, they wake up. So then we, together with the parents, we learn the boy to fall back asleep, and then slowly he wakes more less in the night, and then at the end he sleeps through the night. That's very often the case when working with the children. And sometimes you need to work on the schedule of the naps as well. So if children do 3 or 4 naps and they're a bit older, then you need to transition to 2 naps. But if they're too tired, sometimes they need a bit more sleep during the day. So there's also a process where you go through. It's not like, okay, tomorrow it's this. You start, this is the time, 2 naps, this is bedtime. No, it's really like up and down, and you have to move a bit together with the child. Same as sharing schedules. There are like common guidelines, but we're hesitating a bit with sharing a schedule. This is the time that your child needs to go to bed, because children are different. It's not often exactly the same time. There are a bit common guidelines, but then if you are really rigid and focus on that timing,
look at your child. That's what we always say, like particularly when we start working with parents. Most children are structurally overtired, like sometimes for years, sometimes for months, but they're super tired, and we just say, okay, focus on sleep, that he gets sleep, and then eventually when they get a bit more rested, we start working on falling asleep independently and like getting a structure in the day. Because in the end, most children and also parents, but they go very well with a structure, like a routine, a bedtime routine, but also structure during the day, like sleep, eat, play, sleep, eat, something like that. But that structure is very important for children, and that will really help them to settle also for the day and night rhythm, so the circadian rhythm. So actually all cases we can help with.
Yes, and thank you very much for sharing. That's very interesting. And actually, talking of all cases, we were mostly talking about young children, so from 0 to 5 years old. But after that, and I mean when the children can already sleep well on their own and have a good routine. If they have issues during sleeping, I will give an example of my kid who was who was sleeping very well, but all of a sudden wakes up all the time during the night. Is it still a possibility for him to get coaching, or what kind of support could he get? He's 9.
How old is he? 9. Yeah, the problem is, the thing is that for older kids, a lot of other factors start playing a role in the sleeping problem. So sometimes things that happen during the day or at school, they really start to get in their mind, maybe thinking about things or worrying about things. So that's a whole different approach than what we are doing. So that's why we help children until 5, sometimes 6, but in generally like 5-year-old. So I think he can definitely get help.
I see.
But unfortunately, we cannot do that because our expertise really is on the young children. Yes.
I was
but
just
there is
curious.
help for him as well. But it's another type of, because a lot of other factors, and that's not our
And for
expertise,
adults?
So, we are thinking about expanding our company also for older children and maybe even adults, but adults is even more complicated because a lot of other factors, like it's building up in life. But we are talking about it sometimes, about our future plans, like, hey, we're now helping children 0 to 5, and we're both, we are so fond of sleeping and we love talking about it. It's so interesting. So we're talking about it, okay, how cool is it that we can help that kid of 9-year-old or that 7-year-old brother that is also struggling. That would be so cool that we can help the whole family.
Okay.
But for now,
not yet.
In the long term, yes, there are definitely plans.
So,
but for now,
I get it. I totally get it. And thank you very much for sharing all these tips and all your expertise with us. So this live has been recorded and I will share it on the feed. We're almost nearing the end of the live, but I wanted to say a few words about your company, Uitgerust De Dag In. So, of course, if you are interested to get in touch with Marian and Nienke, you can find them on Parentally, and you can also find them here on Instagram on their accounts. You can directly contact them. But I will share all of this when I share the live again. I don't know if you would like to say anything else to end this conversation.
Yeah. I would really say don't wait, and because it's not needed. A young child can really learn how to sleep well, and feel free to just contact us for an introduction call to understand, hey, can we help you and how can we help you? So don't hesitate.
Yes. Support is really within reach. And thank you very much to both of you for doing this live together, and thank you everyone for watching, and I wish you all a beautiful day and see you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.